Good morning, friends. Hello. Well, it still is morning time here at Haven Hill. It's probably not where you're at, it would be my guess. I had to take a little break. I was gone for a long weekend with my son. If you don't know what I'm talking about, that's probably in one of the, actually it might even be the very last video. And we're getting back to normal. I've actually been home for about a week, but it's taken, just a bit to get back to normal and get everybody situated where they need to be. So my name is Meg. Welcome to Haven Hill. And today I am taking you back in my kitchen. We are actually prepping for just a little bit of snow. We're supposed to get overnight between 4 and 6 inches of snow, but I have some projects that I need to tackle in my kitchen. This is gonna be quick. I don't have much to show you, but they're projects that have literally been hanging over my head, such as, I've actually already remedied this one, but I want to show you what I did with this. This is my kombucha. My kombucha, I left brewing for, I don't know, 6 months. It was straight and strong vinegar. So I'm gonna show you what I did with that. And then the other one is, let me go grab it a minute. Okay, so the other one is, this was probably going to look really gross, but this is apple cider vinegar that has been also brewing, sitting, whatever, steeping since the summer. So I'm gonna show you what I did with those things, and I'm also gonna tell you the cost saving it is and a little bit of the benefits of both if you don't know. And then what to do with it, what to do is particularly with your kombucha. If you're like me and sometimes you forget about it, this is the second time I've done this and I just let it go way too long. So come along and let me tell you, if you ever get kombucha that has been brewing for a really long time, splashed in your eye, it burns a lot. Ask me how I know. Okay, so this is not a how-to on brewing kombucha right now because that's just not what I'm doing right this moment. But I did want to just tell you, so this is actually already a new batch of kombucha that is getting ready to go up. I keep it in my cupboard up there where it is dark. I have 2 of them. I have 2-gallon glass jars that I keep, and I just keep rotating them. And then I have 1 glass jar that I have started for a SCOBY hotel, so to speak, where I can just store them as they continue, because every time you brew, it's going to make a new layer of a SCOBY, and those layers will just get more and more thick. I can actually show you that part. So this is fresh kombucha, but I want to show you what I did with the old kombucha that was very, very strong. And when I say strong, like I told you, strong. So here is the first thing that, yes, actually I have 2 jars of them. I had this much, and I needed a little bit more liquid. I probably could have had 2 full ones of these, because I decided to do the SCOBY hotel, I just kept this. So this kombucha vinegar is ready to go. You can use it. This is actually, if you ever are at the grocery store and you find the really delicious apple juice, it comes in a glass. It's expensive. This was probably at least $10. A glass, half-gallon. I get it periodically for 2 reasons. 1, it tastes delicious, but 2, I can take the container and reuse it because it's glass. So this is now marked with the kombucha vinegar. You can use it however you would use any other vinegar. So my go-to ways, I have a certain drink that I make that's delicious. It is so good for you. Look up your own health benefits of kombucha. I wasn't really gonna plan on talking about those right now, other than I can tell you they are there, and I have experienced them myself greatly, especially with my gut. So this vinegar is ready to go. I will use it for salad dressings. I will use it in the drink that I like to make. Those are my 2 good golly, I cannot talk. Okay, what I'm trying to say to you is those are my 2 top ways that I use vinegar. Salad dressings and this drink that I like to make. I'll tell you about the drink in just a minute. The other way though that I do like using vinegar is in a cleaning thing, or like a cleaning solution. So let me show you what I use. This is our family's household cleaner that we use for absolutely everything. It's very economical. What I do is I take this amber spray bottle. I will pour a splash of apple cider vinegar, kombucha vinegar. Look it up. You can see that it really is a disinfectant. And then I usually put a cap or two. Our family use Thieves, just some sort of natural cleaner, the rest up with water. It works very well. We use it for everything. So now I have the option of apple cider vinegar or this kombucha. Otherwise, this would have, if it was so strong, I would have had to throw it away. And if you know me at all, you know I hate wasting anything that, especially food, probably because our family is so large. I hate doing that. So I'm always looking for ways to use it. This was a great option. Let me also show you the SCOBY Hotel. You don't know what to do with your old face masks that we were all forced to wear. They make great kombucha brewing wrap thing. Anyway, okay, so this is my SCOBY Hotel. There are probably at least 10 SCOBYs in here. What, honey? Okay, so for the SCOBY Hotel, I will just keep adding the layers as I don't need them. There are still more layers I could actually put in here if I really wanted to. But I bet I could get I could give these away or sell them. Last year they were part of some of the CSA basket that we did if people wanted to get started. So it's a great way just to store them as to gift, to save, to whatever. So the kombucha will now brew for a couple of weeks. I set a reminder on my phone this time so I don't forget about it. I don't forget about it in the summer. In the wintertime, I'm more prone to forget about it. We just don't drink it quite as much. You know, because usually you're wanting something warm. So that's the first thing I was gonna show you, what you can do with your kombucha that you forget about. Just bottle it up. Keep it as vinegar. Use it any way that you would use vinegar. Look up the health benefits. I'm telling you, it's so good for you. If you don't like kombucha, let me tell you about my favorite drink that I make. I've had people tell me they just don't care for kombucha, and I get it. It's not for everybody. That's okay. It is stronger. So one thing, I actually do enjoy it, but one other way that I like to drink it is I found it on somebody's, I did find it on somebody else's, I think it was a blog. I know if you're familiar with Trim Healthy Mama, they have a version. This is not their version. This is something different. So I'll see if I can find it. Otherwise, I'll just tell you what I do because I just kind of made it into what I use. I will put the directions in the description as to how I do this. Try it, see what you think. So I have found, a friend got me onto this. It's called Red Rose Tea. It is an herbal tea. They have all different flavors. This one is caramel apple. They have blueberry, they have lemon, they have strawberry. They all are delicious. I love them because they're sweetened with stevia. It's just a great treat. So I will brew 2 of these in really hot water. Once that is done being brewed, I will pour 2 tablespoons. My sweet little guy continues to tell me what we're trying to figure out, very important things to him. Okay, let me start that over. You're gonna boil a cup of hot water, steep 30 minutes, however long you steep tea. Then take 2 tablespoons of your kombucha. Honestly, I actually did my kombucha vinegar today and it was great because this is sweetened with stevia. It tasted absolutely fine. And then I put it in a large cup like this, filled it up with ice and a little bit more water, and I just sip on that all afternoon. I find it very, very delicious. I do not like overly sweet drinks. You could always add extra stevia or cane sugar if that's your jam. But this is another way that I have found that I can enjoy kombucha or apple cider vinegar or things like that I know are so good for me and make it into a drink that I enjoy. Some people add a little bit of ginger. You could add a little bit of some sort of juice that you like. Just any way that you can get the kombucha vinegar or regular kombucha, or I'm gonna show you this apple cider vinegar into your body. So fun little tip, try it, let me know what you think. Okay, so that's the kombucha. The next thing I'm going to show you is the apple cider vinegar. So like I said, I don't like wasting. When you have a large family like ours, or if you're just really careful, particularly with your food budget, something like this can make a big difference. Let me rephrase that. Not a big difference, a little difference. But if you are alive right now, you know food costs continue to rise. And this is something that I started doing a couple of years ago because I do like keeping apple cider vinegar, and I like getting an organic apple cider vinegar that still has the mother in it. And I realized how simple it was to actually make this from apple scraps. So we have an apple tree. And our apple tree, our first year here was prolific. It was amazing, just produced hundreds and hundreds of apples. I believe it's a, oh, my girls would remember, they're not here today. I believe it's a paradise apple tree, if I recall, a yellowish apple with a little hint of red. Very good. Anyway, we had so many apples. We made lots of apple crisp and applesauce. We froze tons. We did anything and everything we could. And then I was left with gallons and gallons and gallons of apple scraps. We gave tons to our animals. They devoured them. But then I realized, well, what does it take? Or I was just thinking one day, what does it take to make apple cider vinegar? I looked it up, and I have been doing this ever since then. So here's what you do. The reason this probably looks a little bit wonky is because I actually already poured it out so I can show you how you strain it. So this is what's left. This was filled almost to the top. So I put all of my apple scraps in there. It has already developed multiple scobies, much like kombucha. That's why I wanted to combine these two things. It's the same fermentation process. So I put all of my apple scraps in here. It was well over, I bet it was probably about 3/4 full originally when I did it, about a half a cup to a cup of sugar. And then I just sealed it and let it sit for months. I would say 6 months. Oh, and I also added this to it. So I added a splash of the Bragg's organic apple cider vinegar, just to kind of help it along. Because this has the mother in it, I knew it would help this get going. This is at least the 3rd or 4th batch. And today I'm straining it all, so it's usable. It has been sitting for at least 6 to 8 months, I would say. It has a really good strength to it. I already did one just like this. I put apple cider vinegar on the tag. I filled it up. I'll show you. I'm going to show you this process. I filled this up with what I strained out of here, and then I still put a couple splashes of this in here because this will only get stronger now. And that's what I wanted. It was really, really close to where I wanted it, but I would love it a touch stronger. So that's why I decided to put a splash in here, and now this is just ready to go. And I'll let it sit until I'm ready to use it. So let me show you how I did this entire strain process. It's not challenging at all. In fact, next time you want to have apples that you know are not sprayed in any way, because it is going to be sitting and fermenting. You don't want that in there. We don't spray our apples. And I was using primarily apple scraps. And then if I ever, like as I was using this up, if I was gonna fill it back up with water, I would add a little bit more sugar and some fresh apple scraps to it. There's probably at least 3 to 4 from when I saw it earlier, thin scobies in there, and I will store those in a little bit of this until we have more organic apples that I will make. But this made a lot, and it will be fantastic. This combined with the kombucha vinegar, I'll be good for a really long time. By the way, so I bought this when we went to Amish country. Which is another video about that. It's probably about an hour and a half from us. This, at that time, about a month and a half probably 2 months ago, was $23. It is the organic version. I have seen it online anywhere between $15 and, just depending on how much you purchase, $25. Well, now I don't have to get it. And when you go through as much vinegar as we do for just anything and everything, it's like this was, other than the sugar and that I added to it was free. All those scraps would have been thrown away. So that's kind of cool when you think about it. So let me show you how you strain it, how I bottle it. I just get these glass jars on Amazon, and I save them and reuse them over and over and over. I'm moving my camera angle so I don't have to do this again. Okay, so yes, our Christmas tree is still up. But all the ornaments are down, but when you're supposed to get snow still, like winter's not over here. Even though it feels like we've had spring, it's not over, so I'm leaving it up. Okay, here's what you do. Here is the apple cider vinegar, like I said, that has been sitting for months. I really wish I had another hand. I just have a strainer. I've already done this once. So I'm literally everything, I'm probably gonna make a mess because I do need another hand. Everything just literally comes out like that. I let it sit, I let it strain. If you've never seen any sort of SCOBY before, this might gross you out. My kids found this incredibly disgusting when we were many, many years ago when we first started brewing kombucha. This is the SCOBY. This is the good bacteria. Look up the benefits of it, you guys. The video would be way too long if I added all of that. But the probiotics, the antibacterial, I mean, just look it up. It's so good for you. It's great for your gut because of the probiotics. It's good for your health. It can be good for your, really, really good for your skin. Look it up. So now this, I will keep some of this and a little bit of the juice until I'm ready to brew again, just like a SCOBY Hotel for the kombucha. Everything else is gonna go to my chickens. My chickens will devour this and it is so good for them, my chickens and my ducks. Here is what is left, the apple cider vinegar. So now I'm going to put it in a bottle. So you just I have this great little funnel, put it right on top, and I'm just gonna pour it into this glass snapback jar. I don't remember what they call that. So here we go. And then remember I said I'm gonna add just a little bit of my fully ready apple cider vinegar that I purchased. That's ready to go, and I have enough for probably at least one, if not two more jars. Ready to go. My little tag, I'll just write on there what it is. Why is it important to keep the SCOBY under, I forgot to mention this, under the actual vinegar or kombucha? I will need that much. It's so it doesn't dry out. So you don't want this to dry out. You also don't want it to you really don't want it to get cold. You just want to leave it at room temperature because this is what's feeding you. This is the live organism, so to speak. My kids say it looks like a brain or something like that. Okay, I don't have enough for another full bottle, so I'm just gonna keep it in here. And now I will store the rest of this covered. I'm gonna put multiple coffee filters. If you use coffee filters, if you're gonna do vinegar or if you're gonna do kombucha, make sure you use, I probably use at least 10 of them. I had done it before where I don't do that and little fruit flies find their way in and I had to throw a whole batch away. So I will cover this. I will keep it in another cupboard that I have right up there, a dark spot. And then as soon as I have apple scraps, either from our tree or if I can find another place that they're organic, non-sprayed or not sprayed, all of those things, I will take all of my apple scraps. I will fill this back up. So there's no apple scraps in here. There is just the mother or the SCOBY. And this will help the next batch brew much faster. I will also probably add, I'll probably add a half a cup to a cup of sugar. So I want it to brew for at least 2 weeks, but this will go for months, I'm sure, to get it where I want it. And then we'll have more. My goal this winter, or I'm sorry, we are in winter. My goal by next winter is to have 5 to 10 gallons of this all ready to go. If it's either this kind or if I forget about the kombucha, I'll do the kombucha vinegar again as well. They actually don't taste that different in my opinion. This obviously does taste more appley, that tastes a bit more like tea. But it's the exact same process filled with the exact same goodness for you. So anyway, okay, my camera turned off. Another little tip, this is just an old fabric scrap that I would have thrown away. I cut them really small and I use them how I would ribbons. So anyway, use a really big rubber band. That works fantastic. Anything that you can do to secure it. Now this will go up for a while, but I am left with tons of apple cider vinegar and kombucha vinegar. Okay guys, that's what I had for you today. So here you go. Go make your own kombucha vinegar, or if you're like me and you occasionally forget about your kombucha, don't throw it away. Or your apple cider vinegar, don't throw your scraps away. I hope this feels super attainable and that it's something that anybody could do to help save your family money, to help become a little bit more sustainable, but not self-sustainable just for yourself, to be able to give. I'm excited to be able to give smaller jars away to people if they need them or whatever else. So anyway, have a great one. Until next time, I will just talk to you later. So see ya.